Zatima season 4, episode 1. First things first, let me know y'all thoughts on today's new episode down below. What did y'all think? Did y'all like the episodes? Spoiler alert. The first things first, Fatima did not get shot, but y'all already knew that if y'all seen the trailer. But yeah, I'm gonna do a quick summary and then we're gonna dive into the review. First of all, to me, it was an okay episode. The highlight was just that she didn't get shot, but we already knew if we seen the trailer and the spoiler photos. But okay, so basically, Fatima did not get shot. It was a false alarm. She did, however, slip and fall. The doctor ended up saying that her and the baby will be okay as long as, she stays away from stress. I said, good luck with that. Zach and his people. Zach and his people. Not to mention, obviously, the crazy girl, Leslie, finna get ready to stalk her. So that's stress within itself or whatever. So I was like, yeah, it's definitely gonna be a whole bunch of mess or whatever. Like I said, she did, however, slip and fall. The doctor said her and the baby will be okay as long as she stays away from stress. Zach was upset. He wanted to take Jeremiah out, but they was just telling him not to do it. Fatima ended up telling him that he has to be there for her and the baby. They need him. And just reassuring him that everything's gonna be okay. Maybe Jeremiah will stay away. And also in the trailer, they showed Jeremiah, he was like in the hospital again, if I'm not mistaken. And they was dragging him away, and he's saying, help me. So I'm assuming that Zach gonna have him committed, but we'll see. Not committed. I don't think that's the right thing to say, is it? Is it committed? I don't know. Where they take you where you could get help in rehab. Rehab. That's why I say rehab. Look, I'm talking about like he crazy or something. But yeah, what else? Zach is going to plan the baby shower. Belinda wants a second chance with Fatima. Leslie crazy self has a key to Zach and Fatima's house. And I was like, how did she know about the Jeremiah situation? Because she ended up mentioning it to Angela or whatever. And I said, well, she was hiding in the closet or something? I said, how'd she get a key? I said, how long she been following this lady? I said, Then y'all know in the trailer also, Zach and Fatima was supposed to be in the bed and they hear something downstairs. They supposed to go downstairs or whatever. So I think they gonna know that it's her. I don't know. I said, now, Angela, what Leslie said didn't make sense because she was like, she came there to check on Fatima. She heard about what happened and stuff like that. Then she said Fatima wanted her to stop by, gave her a key and stuff like that. I said, none of that made sense. It didn't make sense. I said, Angela, go tell it. Angela did say, something was off about that. Something was strange about that. I said, well, tell it. Go on, tell it. Tell that she had a key. Go on, fix it now. But I doubt she'll tell it. I'll be shocked if she do. I haven't seen episode 2 yet. I'm about to watch it next, y'all. But yeah, okay. So it's the aftermath of, the ending of season 3 or whatever. They pick up where they left off. Zach running over there, he telling everybody to get out his way. He checking on Fatima and stuff like that. He tells them to call the ambulance, and they do. And he wanted to know if she had been shot. She was like, no, she didn't get shot. She just slipped or whatever. So she was like, she was cramping. She was in a lot of pain and stuff like that. Angela ends up calling 911. Tony and Nate end up asking Jeremiah why he brought it there. And he told me, because they was chasing me and stuff like that. Was it a necklace? Did he take a chain or something? I was like, see, it's too much. It's too much. But I don't think Zach gonna officially be done with him. I think that once he gets help, if he gets help, I'm assuming he gonna get help or whatever. And then they gonna be okay. But yeah, at the same time, he could just cut him off or whatever. But we'll see. They might still target Zach and Fatima because they know that he's connected to Jeremiah. But yeah, they was questioning him. He talking about he ain't had no choice. I said, look, when they zoomed in, when they showed his head, I said, now why do he got cheetah spots in his head? I said, why they got this man with some cheetah spots in his head? But yeah, what else? Let's see. I think Belinda was the one. I know I seen her on the phone. I was like, Angela already calling the ambulance or whatever. I said, well, who she called? She don't call the police so that they could come get Jeremiah. Somebody, that's him or whatever. So everybody just snitching and stuff, telling to take Jeremiah in. So the police end up getting Jeremiah and stuff. Bryce ends up asking Angela if she wants him to stay there because, Zach wanted her to get everybody out of there and just clean up and stuff like that. So she has everybody leave. That's when Bryce told my son he want to protect her and stuff, and she was like, no, she got it. I said, well, Leslie tipping around, you might want him to come back now. Now, at first I was saying that Bryce always makes things about him. Even with the whole Zach situation, you the one try to kiss him or whatever, and then now you mad that he's mad. How you gonna be mad that he's mad that you did something inappropriate, and he not quick to forgive or just turn the other cheek or whatever they be saying and stuff? I said, he always make things about him. And they supposed to get into it again. Him and Zach. I don't know what it's going to be about this time. But, yeah, they definitely supposed to get into it again. And Preston's supposed to get in between them. But I say he definitely makes things about himself. What else happened? Let's see. The doctor ends up coming in and telling Fatima and Zach that, you know, she's doing okay, the baby's doing okay, but her blood pressure was up and they trying to stabilize it and everything. But she has to be stress free because it's already enough for anybody. Stress is already a lot, but when you pregnant, it's even worse. So she was just telling her what she needs to do, and how she needs to stay stress free. She ends up leaving. Zach and Fatima end up talking. Fatima knows that she ends up saying how she doesn't want him to do anything. She was like, "You're gonna end up back in jail." I said, "Exactly. He definitely is. He hard headed. He don't listen." I do like how he looks after the people he loves and stuff like that. I'm ready for them to show up for Connie. I'm ready for her to reveal that she's sick and everything. Cause I don't know if that's gonna be in episode 2 or not. But yeah. What else? Let's see. They were just talking and stuff. Fatima ends up telling Zach that she needs him and trying to make sure he don't go do nothing stupid. He kept talking about how he wanted to handle Jeremiah, and he told his boys and friends and stuff he wanted to take him out. And I said, "Dog." I said, "I get it, because Fatima and the baby could have been gone." And Fatima said the same thing, but she was like, "No, they need him." She don't want to bring the baby to see him through a glass window. What else? Let's see. Zach ends up telling Fatima how he wants to get her a bodyguard, and she was trying to tell him no, she can't take no bodyguard to work and stuff like that. He's still talking about he gonna get a bodyguard for her. And I said, with the whole Leslie situation, I think she definitely gonna need a bodyguard. I definitely think she's gonna need a bodyguard. But Zach was just saying how he doesn't feel like he's doing enough to protect her, and she was like, "You are enough," or whatever. Angela hosted Fatima would see Belinda call, and she was at the hospital. She worried about Fatima and stuff like that. This the scene. This is the part where I was like, no, immediately no. I don't think that they need to be friends again. They could be cordial or whatever, but I don't know. No. What the world going on around here? But yeah, she talking about some doggone. They was on the phone. They was talking about Fatima. She was saying how, you know, they was scary seeing her almost die and get shot at and stuff like that. So Angela talking about some, she hopes Fatima would see Belinda making an effort or whatever. And Belinda was saying how she wants another chance. I said, first of all, Angela, you skating on thin ice as it is. You skating on thin ice as it is. What the world going on? I said, do you think, I ask y'all this, do y'all think you could be friends with somebody if you don't trust them? Because I wouldn't trust her. I don't care. After you done already did some foul stuff like that, now I will say, I got to say this because I said it once and I said it again. She was involved with Zach. But it was one night stand. However, she still was involved with him, and they also, Angela and Fatima both admitted that she had been talking about Zach. She never gave a name or anything like that, but they were saying how she was just obsessed over him or just focused on him and stuff like that. How she used to talk about Zach and stuff like that. So I will give her that, because it ain't just like, you know, how people be one-sided or whatever. However, what Zach and Fatima got is definitely not no one-night stand. Now, I think they need to learn to communicate, but other than that, I think they belong together. I think that both of them crazy. Both of them crazy, so she need to just put that aside. But, again, I don't think you can really have no friendship if you don't trust somebody. But yeah, I just had to point that out because I know somebody going to be in the comment section. I was like, this ain't that ain't this. I understand. I get it. I completely get it. But at the same time, it's over with. It's done. You don't try. You failed. It's over. I don't think they need to be friends again. I think they could be cordial for the sake of, you know, because they friends with, you know, Angela. But again, Angela already skating on thin ice. She over here trying to make sure that I can't stand with people. They be over here trying to speak on somebody's behalf and they barely in the door as they self. You barely in the door yourself. You been skating on thin ice from the get-go too. You a wishy-washy friend too, and you over here trying to speak on her behalf. That make you look bad too, in my opinion. That make you look bad. But based on the spoiler photos and everything, Angela gonna be still, not Angela, Belinda gonna still be a part of the group, y'all. She's still gonna be around. She's still gonna be with Fatima and everything else. And I was like, yeah, y'all need to start trying to normalize this stuff. Everybody keep trying to normalize folks crossing you, and then you just over here like, okay, let's be buddy-buddy again. I trust you with everything, even though you don't show me multiple times that you untrustworthy. But yeah, what else? Let's see. I already said Angela hosted. Fatima will see Belinda making an effort. Belinda wants a second chance. Zach ends up going in to update everybody about Fatima and how, you know, she has to stay stress-free. That's when he got to talk about ending Jeremiah. Then Belinda over here talking about so she understands why Zach wants to, you know, handle Jeremiah or whatever. She ends up telling Zach that she wants to put things behind them and stuff like that, so she trying to get on his good side as well. What else? Let's see. Zach went back there with Fatima again, and he ends up saying, you know, Belinda looked shook up, and she was like, I can believe it. I can believe that it shook up or whatever. I said, don't fall for it, Fatima. Don't fall for it. She's still this is a sneaky girl. I said, she still can't, look, I don't know, because on Sisters, I said the same thing. I said, even though Paige and them is not friends, I said, Maurice and Sabrina was quick to sit up here and invite her into the friend group, even though she just tried to cross them and stuff like that. I was like, I feel the same way with the Belinda situation. Do not let her back in. But yeah, what else? Let's see. Fatima wants Zach to let it go. Look like she got through to him, but I don't know, y'all. Zach wants to plan a baby shower. Fatima agrees. If Fatima continues to be stressed, because the doctor came back in, she was like, if Fatima continues to be stressed, she'll be on bed rest or whatever. Fatima doesn't want that because she wants to work. Zach kept telling her, he'll be there for her regardless, and she was like, she loved her job. And what else? Let's see. I think the end of the scene was Angela was still at the house. I think she had came back because it was morning time. She came back and it looked like she was still cleaning up and stuff like that. So the crazy girl, don't use the key to come in. She turned around. She was like, you scared me? She was like, what you doing here or whatever. So they were just talking, and she talking about some. She heard about Zach's brother, the Zach brother situation. What happened with him, so she wanted to come in to check on Fatima. Then she said that Fatima gave her the key to come or whatever and all this other stuff. And I was like, it didn't make sense though. Didn't make sense. Wouldn't you have known? First of all, why would she give you a key? Why would they give you a key to their house? I don't understand it. Out of everybody, wouldn't you think if a key was given, it would be to Angela now? But yeah, I think obviously she had a key because she came back. But still, I was like, why would they give her a key? And I said, Angela better tell it. But I don't think she's going to tell it. We'll see, though. Maybe she's going to tell it too late. We'll see. But yeah, Leslie was in Zach and Fatima's house, said she came to check on Fatima. Fatima gave her a key, see, look, or whatever, and all this stuff. And I think Angela made a comment and said she was going to let her tell Fatima or something like that, or ask her, whatever she said. Regardless, I was like, that didn't make sense. And when she left, Angela was like, that was strange. I said, exactly, trust your instincts. Trust your intuition and tell it. I said, she probably made several keys by now. Did y'all see her in the trailer in those photos where she got a bunch of pictures behind her? I'm assuming they pictures of Fatima now. I'm assuming that's what it is. But yeah, that's it, y'all. Let me know y'all thoughts on this episode down below. Stay tuned for the next review. Until next time, deuces, have a great rest of the day and be safe.